Okay, got a mate of mine, Mark in Albury, that hasn't been into radio for many, many years, but has just dug out a few interesting ones. President Washington and a couple of Pierce Simpson Super Panthers. They've been sitting around for years. These are always the good ones to have a look at because they're a bit of fun, just finding out, how they've suffered over the years. Initial look at it, mic audio, none. Mic audio, audio, none, as in AF audio. Mic audio, actually quite good. 1, 2. I'm on AM at the moment, and I'm just transmitting 4 watts, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could use a bit of a tidy up, but that's not any big deal. But no, we're not getting any mic audio. The other way to check that, of course, is to basically chuck a crocodile clip on. Just make sure you haven't got a mic wiring issue. So you'll have there's your transmit, there's your receive. There's no receive coming off that. Fair enough. The other way too, it's a check is very quickly. So your 2 bottom pins on the with the 4-pin plug is registering a short, which means that that's your receive line. So we know the receive line's working on the microphone when we do that. So we know that this has got a audio fault of some description. Now we have put an extension speaker in and tried both. Make sure that it's not an extension speaker. So we'll pull it to bits to have a bit of a look. Generally, this can be a few things. Everything from obviously audio IC that's had its day to caps. More often lately we're seeing caps that can cause problems just getting old, and that's the issue. It won't be too bad a problem because we know we're getting carrier 1, 2, 3, but we know we're getting mic audio as long as the mic audio looks a bit average, to be honest, but that's okay. We'll sort that out. But these things did have a fair bit of gain too on their mic gain, so we drive that back a bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, all right, not so bad. Sideband, we're getting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little bit of flat topping there, but 1, 2, 1, 2. Low 1, 2. Very standard sort of power and everything on this. So yeah, we'll just pull a couple of screws, have a little look, see what we see. And by the way, I may not have the time right now to repair it, but we're just going to give Mark a bit of an idea what's happening on these 3 radios, and we'll get back to it. Okay, so I've got the lid off. I've done a little quick dodgy modification just to prove that yes, that switch in there is a 40 channel switch. Now don't worry about how it's flickering on and off, because what I've done is I've just done a very dodgy thing to this board in here. It actually needs to be rewired. This board needs to come out, and then we rewire the whole thing and set it up. But look, it can happen. This can be a 40 channel, so that's without having to a little bit of mucking around, but it can be done. As you can see, the way I've dodged it up at the moment, just to give it a quick test. Now, let's have a look though. Does it actually transmit? Let's go to channel 35 actually. Does it transmit on channel 35? Just turn this up here. Let's go down to AM. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so my dodgy little thing, as you can see, that's flicking on and off and not liking it completely. But once I rewire that totally, 1, 2, once it's rewired, this radio, which was sold as a 23, can be modded back to being a 40. Isn't that amazing? They took 40 channel radios and modified them back to 23. So, okay, but that still doesn't fix our audio problem, which we'll have to go looking for and just find out what is going on in there. But, look, simply, these were a fantastic chassis, and the old 858 chassis, they're truly just something that, worth spending a bit of time and energy on when you got faults, etc. For this one, I'm going to need to pull the bottom off and have a little bit of a look too. I don't want to get too far into this one today, only just a bit limited for time today, but we just want to get a bit of a rough idea where we're heading. So we know 2 facts already. 1, audio, terrible. We don't have any audio that we can hear. Don't get me wrong, we'll put a crow on it. We'll start sourcing, from start to finish to find out just where that audio path is being interrupted. And we will... we're pretty sure we've got a receive line happening over here, so that's great, but we'll work on that. Look at that. So how easy to get 40 channels out of it. Once we mod that switch and get it back to standard, this radio will be 40 channels without having to replace the switch. So that I've got some good news for Mark, which is good. Haven't done one for a while. I have to remember the wiring, to be honest. God, it's been a while. Okay, so pretty much that's where that one's at. Let's I'll get into these, and I'll do a bit of a repair video on this video is more for Mark's application, just to sort of see that, right, this is where we're heading with them. But I'm just going to pull that bottom cover. I just want to see if there's anything obvious. Okay, so not unusual. Back in the day, people didn't know how to take the 23 channel mod out. So what they did is they basically came in here, put a switch in, and they decided that's the best way to get their 40 channels. Now, obviously, we pull all that out, get rid of it. Excuse me. Pull out any other wiring that's got anything to do with their mod board, and then start soldering it all up. And the idea there is that you can actually get this. There's a bit of an intermittent in the light there I can see going on and off, but that's all right, minor. But yes, so basically this plug here goes back on, brings the noise blanker and the CBPA switch back into action again, and so that's not going to be hard. Just having a bit of a look, there's been a few things. Someone's been in having a bit of a play, so look, nothing that excuse me, those of us that worked on these as a kid, can't sort of reform themselves and work out. But we will be having a look at just the audio path and just see what's happening there. So for now, I'm going to put the screws in a bag, put this one aside. We know pretty much that a couple of hours later we should have this going, beautifully. There'll be a little bit of a parts issue, of course, and we'll clean up any of the 240 volt stuff over here that's a little bit messy. But yeah, look, and I'm very suspect of some stuff going on over here too. So we'll have a bit of a look, but that should be good. Okay, so that's radio number one out of the, and as you can see, so we learn a lot. We've actually got it temporarily sort of showing that that switch can be 23 or 40 depending on the mod board. We'll get that all happening. By the time we're finished with that, that'll be perfect. But I just wish I had the time right now, but Mark, in the next week I'll get to this and it'll be done. Let's have a look at your Super Panthers and just see what else we've got there. Okay, this is Super Panther number 2, designated as such with Mark's very methodical system. Good on ya. Okay, so let's have a little look here. 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're getting carrier there, 9 watts a carrier. Oh jeez, people running these at 9 watts a carrier, turn them down. It's not a good idea. That's all right, we can get into that. Okay, let's check. I suspect that mic's faulty, to be honest. I've just got a Dick Smith mic here, which come off my Scorpion base station. I just thought I'll grab that and let's use a known microphone. 1 2 1 2. Oh, look at that. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Whoops. 1 2. What's that? Oh, hello. 1 2. Getting a lot of rubbish on the screen there. It's not. It's just my video not picking up properly. Okay. So apart from the 9 watts of carrier, let's see on sideband. Hello, 1 2 3 4 5. Hello, 1 2 3 4 5. That looks average. 1 2, and as you can see, hardly any drive there. 0.7 of a watt. Okay, fair enough. Now, the reason I can tell someone's been into this, there's a few little issues that are really obvious and not hard to fix. So this is not looking too bad. Let's just inject a signal in and see what we've got. Let me just turn the volume down here so we can hear on this side here. Now, a few things that could be of issue. Let's just have a look. Yeah, we're not getting a thing, are we? All right. These DX local buttons used to play up quite a bit. Sometimes you get almost in a situation where, but no, I mean, it's terrible at the moment. Can be fixed, but that's not the issue. And I would say, to be very, very honest, let's just turn that off because we're not hearing a thing there. And let's just go again. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, okay. So, as much as we're having a look at this, 1 2 3 4. Let's just see there. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Jeez, I tell you, strange one. All right. 1 2. Yeah, okay. We're definitely not on 27085. That's obvious. 1 2 1 2. Yep, okay. So we do have a bit of a mystery PLL going on here. Yeah, definitely got a lock issue. As I change channels, see the frequency error doesn't change. That's what you got, yeah. Okay, so we know we've got a PLL lock issue. Hang on, turn that off. Yep, so we've got a PLL issue that's, and we've also got a audio issue. Another one with an audio issue. Now, what causes those problems? Generally, people inside them. I'd love to tell you over voltage does it every time, but no. Generally, people inside them, over the years, doing different modifications, not unusual. And this goes back. Being an 18, this goes back a long time. Could even be a cap, could be a lot of things. So anyway, that one, I'm even going to say, not a hard fix. We'll get into that one, and we'll do a video on the fix of it as we go through. Once again, this is more for Mark's sort of just background. I wanted to get something at least to him this weekend to say, well, okay, what are we dealing with? So far, no chuckaways, that's for sure. Not a chance. I want to fit 40 switches to these and all that sort of stuff, and I think Mark's got the switches, so we're gonna supercharge them, I think. Okay, this is Super Panther number 1, designated by number 1. And something I think was really smart with these 2-pin plugs is people that put negative and positive. Do you know, I've been working on these since I was about 13 years of age. And, you know, sometimes even I've got to think to myself, oh, negative to the outer, negative to the inner. So I'll get my multimeter and I'll go from the mic plug. Keep in mind, these are floating chassis, so don't go to chassis. So you need to go to the earth pin of the mic plug and basically then find your negative versus you'll see the diode in the positive. But, you know, people that used to mark them, it helped me with those brain fade days. But anyway, all good. Okay, so let's put an antenna in this thing and let's have a look. This is a Super Panther Mark 1 again, early day 1, which is a really nice one. And some would say, honestly, hang on, just let me get that up a bit. Ugh. Some would say he's got the perfect collection here in the fact that, you know, look at that, just a 23 channel. You don't see, these were bought out in about 1976, somewhere around there, 76, 77 roughly, as a 23. And now this is not like the Washington where you saw a digit going there, see that? That's the switch in a bit of trouble. Sometimes we can clean them up, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later. Yes, so this is a very early version, and its condition, quite seriously, is good. You know, we've seen them with much worse scratches and things on them than this. So Mark sort of having these put away in the cupboard is probably a good thing. Now, we're not going to use Mark's mic because we know it's wrong. That we're going to throw. Well, not going to throw it away, sorry, we're going to look and see if we can rewire it at some stage. But what we're going to use is our Dick Smith mic, which came off the Dick Smith one, black one right up the top there. Why do we do that? Because it's a known working microphone. Oh, sorry guys, jeez. My video today is a little bit, I'm playing catch-up footy a bit today because of a very crook day yesterday. And so if I seem a little bit over the place and in a hurry up, I've just got a little bit on today. But fortunately, the bleeding stopped a bit, which is good. And some of you know what's going on there. But I lose a lot of energy when I start coughing up blood and etc. It's just a condition we're dealing with at the moment. But be thankful for the good days. Okay, so let's get back onto the radio. Let's talk about the good news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that looks beautiful compared to the other one. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that standard 3 point whatever watts. That's what we want to see. That's beautiful. Now I'm going to put a signal in at 27085. So we're going to generate a signal here, and I would guarantee you that this should hear it. Should never guarantee anything. Okay, let's just turn the volume down here so we're not hearing that so much. And let's go. Actually, let's just generate F as in FM. I'll just find that better for a sideband signal when I'm having a bit of a listen. Okay, so look at that. See what I was saying about that DX local switch? Well, in this case, it's just attenuating. It's attenuating a lot. I'm really suspicious of whether that's a DX local or whether someone's got channels on that. I'll have to check that. I would not be surprised if that's a channel switch because I can't imagine it attenuating that much. So we'll find that there will be needed to be rehooked up to be a DX local, and then we'll change that to a 40. But look, overall, I'd expect that to be about S9, but I'm not worried. At 50 microvolts, that's fine. Can it hear down to 0.5 a microvolt? Look at that. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. The meter is way out though. So once again, just little signs that we know someone's been in having a play, and that's okay because, you know, a lot of what we do here is restore modifications back to, you know, I love with my personal collection, restoring everything back to the stage where, you know, it's how it came from the factory. A lot of you that know me know that with CB radios, I don't do horrendous mod boards. Not interested. I'm a retired old fart who, as you know, has, you know, good days and bad days health-wise. But on my good days, I love restoring radios to their original glory. Look, and there's this other small thing called legality these days, which, you know, that I've been pulled up on and educated on. So, you know, when someone says, look, I want to be on 27555, look, seriously, guys, just go out and buy an amateur radio. It's so much easier. But, I should preface that with go get an amateur license and get on amateur radio, go to the amateur bands, work the same DX you're going to work on 555. Hear that? That's a VCO. Okay, these are things you learn in experience. That wobbling sound on the tone, that's the VCO varying. This will need another VCO block. I guarantee you, VCO block is in trouble. It's actually struggling, but it's working there. I just happened to pick that up when I turned the volume up. See how it's gone away for a bit there? But look at that. When I tap it, we lose the signal. That's the VCO block. So, okay. So this one, number one, we're going to have to do some work to that one too. So we've got 3 radios. Please don't think, when we say, it's got to get some work done to it. Look, this is for a mate of mine. And, sometimes people sort of panic and think, oh my God, but it's not. I mean, we worked on these things as kids for years. And a lot of the faults are very common faults. They're common mods. They're common things that have happened. Look, I'm just going to pull the screws. I just want to show you. I bet you, hang on, I'll just pull the top lid off. The sign of a good tech is to say when he's wrong. There's no modification being made here. It's just the DX local switch is actually faulty. It's switching to a 0 position where it's not actually seeing that resistor. But yes, that VCO, here, see there? That's me on the VCO. Well, it does it all by itself, just as I'm listening to the signal. So, yep, needs a new VCO block. 40-channel switch, if Mark wants to do that, that's easy fixed. And but from there, this won't be too hard to sort out. This one's actually very clean. I like the fact no track's being cut. So, not a great issue, and a very nice condition Super Panther. All right, well, look, what we'll do is I'll try next week to spend some time on each of these and try. What I'm trying to teach you here, if you're a budding enthusiast who likes restoring radios, is some of the simple things to check, before you get too carried away with, like some people will jump in and when they've got no audio, they'll replace a 7205 audio IC, but they haven't even checked if over here, for example, now I'm going to be a little bit dodgy here, because we know the top pin. Okay, so see how I'm turning the receive on there? I'm doing it on the side here. I'm doing it on the top. There's no danger in doing this. So all I'm doing is I'm just shorting the top left-hand side pin of the Cybernet wiring for the chassis, and I'm creating a receive line. But a lot of people don't check the facts, and they go in and say, righto, look, let's give the audio IC over here a go, and let's replace that. And whilst there may be some crud on that, it's definitely cleanable. Looks like a spider died in there or something, not sure. But these have been sitting around a long time. So basically what we're trying to teach you is things like learn your pin layouts of your Cybernets, of your Unitons, etc. And also learn where your transmits are. So basically start to learn... that over here. So below the receive pin. So we've got the receive pin there, and we know that's received there, and transmit is just there. Okay, so if you can do this with a screwdriver, just quickly, I normally use a crocodile clip to be honest, so please don't do everything I do, but you can't really hurt anything here. There's no voltage like 8 volt lines or 5 volt lines or anything there on a 4-pin Cybernet. So all we're doing there is we're basically just bringing receive line in and checking the transmit line. That's all we're doing. So obviously checking the audio line over here. So just so we can go through this again. This pin here, so top right is your common. This pin here, which is the top left, is your receive line. This pin here, which is bottom left, is your transmit line. This one here on the bottom right is your mic audio line. This line will generally be on the microphone, the internal of the shielded line, because they shield the mic audio line as they come through. So anyway, all right, so what we'll try and do is try and just give you a bit of a 101 on various different shortcuts as you go through looking at the CB radio. There's a lot of stuff you can do at home. You don't need text for a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here to do simple basic checks, and happy to sort of pass it on. I'm far from running a radio shop these days. I'm old, crook, and sort of getting anyway. But I'm certainly really happy to try and pass on any hints and bits that that may help you to look at various radio issues as they come up. Like a lot of you do, feel free to send me different questions. Sometimes I'm a day or two before I get back to you, but I'm always, willing to try and send a comment back on just what you might be missing, or some quick, simple checks on how to move forward. All right, we'll get into these as separate ones very soon. It's just a quick 20 minutes on this today. I've got to get out to the American barn, and I've got got a few things that I fell behind on yesterday. Commitments I made to clients that need to. Well, not really clients these days. I keep thinking I'm in business like the old days, but people that are helping us with these double ups, I've got to get rid of, and it's just taking time to get through them. But we've got a lot done, so we'll get there. Okay, all the best, Mark. I'll be on to you probably during the week sometime. I'll treat these as let's get them sorted, and I might get those switches off you, because we'll fit those up for you too, and. We'll decide. We'll have a chat about just which way to go on each one. But some nice examples. All right, 7-3's all. VK3 Charlie Mike JDW229. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. And to just a big sing out to the SWL. SWLING, so shortwave listing ING, SWLING.com. Thanks very much for the listing in your article, your worldwide article. I really appreciate that. It's I'll tell you what, on that video it doubled the YouTube views overnight, so really do appreciate that. But anyone that can help us with the subscription, please hit the subscribe button, and it is definitely much appreciated. We're very much we're amateur as far as amateur radio, but we're very amateur in how we make videos too. There's nothing too spectacular about what we do here. I'm seeing some great examples of people spending a lot of time making videos lately, and I feel pretty underrated. It's just what we do here is very, very basic. One day I might learn how to do a real video, but for now, you're stuck with me. 73 is all the best.